Woohoo! My microphone. What is up, everyone? Happy Thursday. I have an amazing training for all of you today. I just finished a call with one of my clients from my mastermind who had a bonus call with me, and we used it to work on her offer promise. And I was going to do an offer training today, and I thought it would be the perfect example to show you how to create a super delicious and amazing offer promise that is super clear, that is in integrity with your ability to deliver, and that is super compelling and creates high demand. So I'm super excited to bring this training to you because truly I'm literally giving you the stuff that I'm working on with my clients right now inside of my mastermind. So I'm going to bring up the video in my group. Let me know if you can hear me. Sometimes the audio gets funky. And if you're joining live, say hello, what is up? If you're watching the replay, then also tell me #replay because I want to give you a shout out. All right, so let me just find the video because I don't even know if I'm live in the right place. I'm gonna refresh my screen and I'm gonna let some people join. And I also would love to hear any questions that you guys have as it relates to creating your offer promise, because I want to answer all of that today. Okay, perfect. So I'm trying this new thing where I'm actually going to have the live stream and the questions in the same screen instead of my other computer. So let me do this. All right, I see April. What's up, lady? April's in the mastermind. She's crushing it. Literally working on this right now in your group. Woohoo! Okay, awesome. So here's what I want to tell you. We're going to talk about the mindset that is super important to have and something that I uncover with my client in our call. And we're going to talk about the 4 elements that are super important for your offer promise, for it to be compelling, create high demand, and everything that I said. So in case you don't know what an offer promise is, it's essentially what is essentially the tagline of your offer. What is the benefit? If somebody asks you, for me, what is Magnetize and Monetize Mastermind? What do you do? Then I have to explain in one sentence, what do I do? Who is this program for, right? What's the outcome? What's the benefit? So that is what your offer promise is. And it has to be really compelling because, as you can imagine, it's the description. It's the name, but it's who the offer is, it's why should I buy your offer? This is why it's important to get this, to make sure that it's compelling, okay? Hey, Yasina, what's up? Hey, Andy, what's up? So good. I'm so happy that this is helpful for you. Oh my God, how do I pronounce your name? Nefertari? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Okay, tell me. So that is what the offer promise is. That's why it's important to have something that's really clear. So I'm going to tell you the 4 elements that are important for your offer promise to have. And I'm going to tell you the mindset that is really important to have, because when we're thinking about our offer promise, the mistake that most people make when we are conscious entrepreneurs and we want to make sure we're in integrity, we start overthinking so much. What can we offer that is within integrity? We want to over promise because we don't want to be like those people out there who use marketing that's hyperbole and totally over promising things. And so we kind of take it to the other extreme. And so we have to make sure that we're promising something that is clear, concise, but is also desirable. We can't just be generic and boring because unfortunately we have to grab people's attention. Not unfortunately, but what's important is that we have to grab people's attention. And so it's really important for us to be able to find that middle ground. Okay. So I have my notes here. So here are the things that I want to, I'm going to give you an example. So I was talking to my client who's a money coach, and her offer promise, what she had, because some of the homework that I give my clients is I want you to go and speak to the elevated version of your ideal client, and I give them a process to do that. And from there, hear what they're saying, what are the words they're using to describe what is it that they want, right? What is it that they're coming to you for? And so when she did that, she told me that most people were saying, I want to heal my relationship with money. And so she said, maybe my offer promise should be my relationship with money. But my thought is I don't think that's good enough, right? And so what I told her is it feels definitely generic. And so this is the first thing that I want to teach you. This is not the 4 elements, but this is an important concept that we don't want to have cliches in our marketing. We don't want to use things that people use all of the time because that is white noise in your ideal client's brain. So when we say I can help you amplify your impact and income, it's very generic. Hundreds and millions of people have used that already, and it's not specific enough. It doesn't matter if people have used it already so much, but it's like, it's cliche and it's like not even clear. So you want to avoid using cliches because it's going to sound just like any other offer out there. Don't use this against you, okay? Don't use what I'm saying like, oh my God, I'm being cliche, now I'm never going to make it. No, just have that as a point of reference that, okay, I need to be more clear with and not use like typical words that everybody uses. Or find a way with the 4 elements that I'm going to give you to blend those things. If you do help people with their income and impact, then we have to be more precise in other areas of your offer promise, okay? So the first thing I said to her is like, yeah, like healing the relationship with money is something that so many people talk about. So how can we make that yours? So we started going through the 4 elements that I'm going to give you. And within the conversation, we unpacked so much of her mindset that was actually holding her back from making a bold promise. So I want to literally share with you how we coach through that, okay? Let me just check the comments in the meantime. Andy, what's up? Okay. So the first element that I want to give you that is really important to create an offer is that it has to be, an offer promise is that it has to be believable. So you know what I mean when I say like, it basically can be hyperbole, meaning, you know, those people that are like, I can help you make 100K in 3 days. Just sign up for my 1-hour workshop and you'll know exactly how. Like, you know those? We're over those, right? People in this group, we know that that's not how we roll. That's not like the vibe that we want. Because again, it's a cliche in a way, like it's a hyperbole promise that is not believable. It's like, oh, I've heard that before. Oh, like it's like hyperbole promises make people like not believe it. So you want to make sure you're creating a promise that is believable. Right? So that is the first thing we said. I'm like, okay, so we have to come up with something that's believable. The second element is it has to solve a problem people have. So within your offer promise, you want to basically say, this is for insert type of client that you help, right? This whole thing has to be believable, but I'm giving you elements of how it rolls. So this is for, let's just say, entrepreneurs, and she had heart-centered spiritual entrepreneurs she had. So I was like, okay, let's put this heart-centered spiritual entrepreneurs aside because that's also like adds more words to it. Let's put it aside for a second and let's clean it up. And then the problem she said that she helps people solve is like heal their relationship with money. That's what she had. So the important thing here is that you have to remember that the problem that you add in your offer promise has to be something that they're already looking for. And not all of her clients are probably waking up thinking, I need to heal my relationship with money. They're thinking, oh my God, why am I trying all the things and not making any money, or working so hard and making the same amount of income? Why all my bills, when I pay them, like it takes me down to $0 in my bank account, right? Like those are the problems people are having. So you want to make sure in your offer promise, you're solving one specific main problem that clients have. So it's like, who's the client? What's the problem? Okay, that's the second element. And then the last thing that you want to add in there, like on a very basic level, is what's the desired outcome that you're going to offer. So it has to be outcome based, very clear and outcome based. So you solve the problem so that you can take them to a desired outcome, desired situation, desired result. For example, for me is I help entrepreneurs, I help coaches and consultants clarify their message. This is a problem people have. That's my problem. So they can then desire result, attract premium clients consistently. My brain, right? That's a very clear promise. And I'm not trying to be fancy. I'm not trying to be like, ooh, all these like soulful, amazing soul. Like I'm a super soulful person and I talk about mindset all of the time, but I need to keep this clear because here's what I want to teach you guys, that like every time that you add words that people don't understand what they are, you lose them. Imagine every word you give them is like a slippery bowling ball. Like imagine if I like give you heart center. Now your brain has to compute. Imagine your brain holding that bowling ball. It's like computing. And it's like, what is a heart center? What does that mean? Okay. And then you're giving them now the heal their relationship with money. That's another bowling ball. Then you're giving them like soul center approach. It's like, what is it? People don't understand what that is. It's very much up for debate. Everybody has a different interpretation of what it means to be heart-centered. Everybody has a different interpretation of what it means to be soul-based, or everybody has a different interpretation of so many, like impact and income. How much impact, how much income, right? So imagine you holding all these bowling balls. At some point, if I give you 5 of them, what are you going to do? You're going to probably drop them. You'll be like, too many things. That's what happens in the brain when you give people all of these terms. They're not able to hold it, and you lose their attention. And then they're like, she's cool, but like, I don't know what she does. She's kind of cool. I've seen her on my feed, but yeah, no, I don't know. Meanwhile, you're like, why can't they understand me? Right? So give me a 1 in the comments if you felt that way. If you're like, oh my God, I'm trying so hard to explain what I do. I'm trying all the things. I'm being real. I'm being authentic. Why aren't people like reaching, like coming to me? Like, give me a 1 in the comments. I want to see. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Becky. What's up, Chris? I love that you're in this live stream. What is up? Hi, Lucia. Let's see who else is here. Hi, Melanie. So good. Okay. Give me a 1 in the comments. I'm going to continue through my notes. Let's see. So let me just go back to where I was. So when you have too many things up for interpretation, what I was just saying, when your offer promise is like too many things up for interpretation, she's like, my client was saying, well, I can totally help with healing their relationship with money. And I'm like, okay, but is that what your ideal clients want? Like right now, is that the thing that they want? What's the outcome of that? When you help them solve their relationship with money, what is the outcome? So we have to think about the main thing people want, because of course there are going to be a million outcomes. She's like, oh my God, so many things. So we have to be like, that's why people hire me, because I help them make that super concise. So we don't want to use things that are up for interpretation, right? And the final element that you want to make sure you add is you want to infuse your unique approach. If you want to, it doesn't have to be, right? Like, for example, for her, I started asking her questions like, what is your unique approach? How do you heal the relationship with money? Is it like mindset work, or is it like, what do you do? And then she started telling me that she uses all these different methodologies, and like tapping is more like a body work that she does, like a lot of embodiment practices. And there's a lot of energy, like moving energy. And so it's not mindset work. See, I was thinking heal their relationship with money is like doing mindset work, right? So we had to be way more specific about how she did it, so that we had at least a little bit of a differentiator between her and all the other relationship with money coaches. Does that make sense? So those are the 4 key things that I want you guys to take away from this live stream in terms of the practical elements that you want in your offer. I'm gonna give you the final result that we created for her, so that you understand what this looks like in a very clear way, okay? I'm not gonna leave you just with like these broad concepts. I want to actually show you the example. But one of the things that we uncovered is her mindset around it, about the offer promise. So I want to tell you about that. Let me see if there are any questions so far. Nothing. Okay, great. So just to recap, the 4 things that you want to make sure that you have in your offer are: make sure that it's believable, something that people can get behind, that doesn't feel like 100K in 3 days in 1 hour workshop. That's not going to attract the right type of clients. Going to attract people who want shortcuts, who don't want to do the work, who are lazy. I'm going to tell you the truth. That's who you're going to attract if you're going to use hyperbole promises. And then they're going to be the worst clients, because they're going to be complaining about why they didn't get results fast. So make sure that in your offer promise, you're very clear about your offer is believable, okay? That's the first thing. Second thing, remember, it has to solve a problem. So you have to state, what is the problem that you help people solve? And this is like the hardest part for most people. Like, what is the problem? I help like so many problems. So if you want to work with that, hire me. I can help you. But you want to solve a problem. So for example, for me is I help coaches and consultants clarify their message. That is the problem that I help them solve. Now it has to be desired based. So the next part of it is desire. Help them solve the problem so that they can get to a desire. The desire for me is so that they can attract premium clients and get fully booked consistently, right? It's like I interchange it. It's like so that they can attract premium clients and be fully booked consistently, or attract clients consistently. Like it's just I don't even have, like, I have that is my offer promise for my programs, but I sometimes like interchange it, right? But as long as is a very similar desired outcome, that is what my clients want. They want consistent income, they want clients, premium clients, right? So that's the desire. That's what I help them do. That's a very clear and clean offer promise. So that's what I mean by desire. And then the final thing is, if you really want to infuse your unique approach, you can. So, but it has to be very clear, right? It has to be very clear in the way that you do it. This is why I don't do that very often, but sometimes with my client, for example, who had all these approaches, and she had like all these energy work that she does, and this tapping, she does tapping for wealth, like all these things. That's when I wanted to like infuse some of that in her tagline, so that it separated the people who were just looking for mindset work and separated people that also wanted a business coach. And we just put it into the niche where she wants to be, which is more with entrepreneurs who want to do more of the energy work, right? So I'll tell you exactly what the result was, and then I'm going to get to the mindset piece that we uncovered. So the final result, so that you guys see the difference. So the one that she had was, I help heart-centered entrepreneurs heal their relationship with money so that they can live more connected to their purpose. That's what she had. Lots of bowling balls there. Like, what? I'm like, lots of things up for interpretation. So the one that I helped her create after asking her all sorts of questions was, this is a 3-month experience, her program. It's a 3-month experience for entrepreneurs who want to break through their current income ceiling by recoding their energetic money blueprint so that their business can create consistent income. Very clear, right? So you have entrepreneurs, we're not putting the heart-centered anymore, because what is a heart-centered entrepreneur? Like, tell me, I don't understand. I'm a heart-centered person, but like, even what that looks like you lead, like, what is that? It's too up for interpretation. So I would even recommend saying coaches and consultants, or just entrepreneurs. And then in order to attract the right type of person, we added her approach, which is recoding their energetic money blueprint. Because there are no people who are going to be raising their hand and being like, I want that, if they don't like energy. If they're not into energy, they're not going to be raising their hand, right? So you have to be strategic about where you add the pieces. And I mean, this comes with like practice, obviously. This is why, if you think into yourself, oh my God, how am I going to get this? Like, I've studied this for 10 years. So it's okay that you feel a little confused. I'm just giving you I don't want you to be confused in this, but I want you to have different options and have a different perspective on the options that you can also create, right? You have to play with the options and then decide on the one that feels the most aligned and the most like clear, right? Because she wants to I wanted her to have that energy piece because that's her approach, but I also grounded the outcome. Like, I didn't make it this fluffy thing. We grounded it in the outcome that we promised, that she feels in integrity to be able to promise, which is so that their business can create consistent income months. That's something that entrepreneurs want, the type of entrepreneurs that she's looking for in every single one of her clients. So that we grounded it back. Instead of kind of keeping it in the 5D with the energetic blueprint, we grounded it back into an outcome. That's how you have a really clear offer promise. Make sense? All right, let me see if you guys have any questions. Love your shirt and such useful info. Thank you. I actually wore this already this week, but I was like, you know what? Does it smell? I don't know. I like it. I'm going to do a live stream today, and I have lots of coaching to do, so I feel really good in it. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. Any questions? Drop any questions that you guys have. Like, drop your offer promise in there, and maybe I'll give you, if you drop it now, I might give you some coaching just before I finish the live stream. Hey, Megan. Nice to see you. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Lisa. Okay. So I'm going to tell you about, before we got to this promise, this is a very important element that no other marketing coach is talking about. And this is why my approach is very different, because I'm not just going to help you with your tagline, but I'm going to help you uncover why you're not creating the tagline that you want, or that is in the most alignment in the first place. So I was asking her all these questions, like questions that you can ask yourself as you want to come up with your tagline are who are the people that I really want to serve? What do they tell me? What do they come to me for? right? Like, or like, who are the clients that I have loved working with and what did they come to me for? Those are the two questions, okay? So who are the clients that I have loved working with and what was the problem they came to me for? Okay, because you might have worked with them and then gotten amazing, crazy, amazing results that you didn't expect, but we don't want to use that as part of your promise because we want to use the language that people said they wanted in the very beginning, okay? This is where people mess up. It's like, oh, I want to offer all these things. It's like, no. What did your people want in the first place? That's what we want to make sure we focus for the most part in the offer promise. So I started asking her that question. I want you to ask yourself that question. Those two questions. And then I asked her, like, who do you really want to serve? Like, who are the people that you really want to serve? And she's like, I actually really want to serve like multiple six-figure earners because their results are going to be exponentially like bigger and faster and more amazing. Whereas with people who are just starting with like money work or money mindset or money like energetics work, it's going to take them a little longer. And I was like, so why aren't you doing it? And she's like, well, because, you know, I'm only making like 50K or 40K. I don't know what she said. And so I don't think I can. So I think that this was a real, and she just kind of said it as like, it's just the facts. Like, you know, I'm just there, so I can't really do that. So, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, do you see how you're using your current income against yourself? Like, oh, I'm only a 40K coach or whatever, insert number here, so I can really help a 100K earner. And so I love this conversation so much because I think it's the integrity piece that I want to address, right? And then there's also when we're using our circumstances against us. So the integrity piece is, of course, we want to be in integrity with the results we have created and what we can promise people. 110%, like 3 million%, like not 100, 3 million%. We want to be in integrity. And this is what would make you a coach that will always have clients, is you being the result of your own product. Like you using the tools for yourself and being the best example of the result that it's available for people. Okay. So I totally understand that. And she's like such an integrity. Like I just like could feel, she's like, I definitely don't want to overpromise anything that I can't. I just can't. I don't want to. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. But here's what I want to offer. And here's a different perspective that I also want to offer. That I believe we can help people who are way above our income level or success level or whatever, if they don't have the tools that we have, right? So for example, I have helped companies that are making $50 million in revenue, like a real estate company, with their message. I've helped people who are making way more than $10 million in their message because they have no freaking idea how to create a powerful marketing message that's clear. I feel super competent in my ability to do that, and I do not feel imposter syndrome at all. But it's because I stopped thinking about it from the place of like, who am I to do that, right? That was her thought, like, who am I to do that? Who am I to promise a 100K earner, a multi-six-figure earner that I can help? And I'm like, yes, I understand that. You want to make sure you're working on yourself to get to the point where at least, she said, I would feel really comfortable if I'm at a 100K, and then I can help other people maybe get there or more. I'm like, great. If that's what you want, like you get to have that decision. But don't lie to yourself and say like, I can't do it now. Or like I could, like I'm not good enough right now. I'm not good enough right now. Like I think that's the sentence. Because she could go out there, she could help me, for example. Like I'm already like way above the income level that she has, but it doesn't mean that I couldn't have her help. Like I don't know what all the amazing stuff that she knows. I don't know any energetic whatever stuff that she does, all the tapping stuff. I mean, I kind of read the book, tried it, never really like took it seriously. But I don't have the skills she has. And so it's so important for us to distinguish, like we have to be in integrity with what we're offering, 3,000%, but we also can't lose sight of who we actually want to serve and who we get to become in order to serve those people. Make sense? This is really important. This is extremely important. Like so much of the work I do with my clients is here. Because as I've shared with you in all of my trainings, I don't know if you're new to my world, I'm going to share it with you. But if I'm able, like, you can always help somebody who's ahead of you, who is not like, who doesn't have the tools that you have. And you are well capable of doing that, like super capable of doing that. Like, don't let that stop you from helping people who don't have the tools you have. Like, if you're a relationship coach, you could help a 7-figure earner with the relationship. If you're an amazing relationship coach, it doesn't mean that because they're making more money, you shouldn't be helping them or you're not good enough to help them. Like, what is that? That is totally a made-up story, right? It's a made-up story. It's like sabotage, right? That we think that we're not good enough. And so I really want to make sure you guys notice if at any point when you're creating your offer promise, you're in this thinking of like, oh, who am I to say that? Who am I to say that, right? And you put it through the filter of like, am I being in integrity? But also, am I hiding from what I know I'm capable of offering, right? Because if you're a relationship coach and you can help a 7-figure earner, but you're settling for like, 20-year-olds because you're 25 or 30-year-old, like you're like, oh, I can only help people who are maybe my age or whatever. Like, no, you're missing the point. So this is a very important like reflection point, so that because once we uncovered that, and I was like, I want you to think like right now you're thinking about being a 40K coach or whatever. This is her pattern that we discover, right? It's like, who am I to do this? So this is the fact that she's a 40K coach, that's how much she's earned. And her thinking is like, who am I to do this? And then she feels not good enough. And then what she ends up doing is second guessing every tagline or every move in her business. And then she doesn't show up. So what I said to her is like, okay, maybe you don't want to like start promising things to multi 6-figure earners. Fair enough, because it's important for you to be in integrity within yourself, but make sure you're working towards that. Make sure that in the background, you are getting 1 or 2 clients that are at that level, that you get practice, that you get confidence, that you step into the shoes of the woman who already is coaching those people little by little, and that you have that as your vision, so that you're not losing sight of that if that is your true calling. Because she's like, that's who I really, really want to serve. And I'm like, yeah, maybe even if you don't feel ready to do that now, then like, what would it take for you to start coaching somebody at that level, right? And then we coached on that thought that she had about being a 40K coach. Her thought was like, who am I to do this? And I was like, what do you want to think about you getting to 100K? Like, don't use the 40K coach, don't use your current circumstance against like your getting there, right? So I was like, what if instead of thinking I'm a 40K coach, so therefore, who am I? What if instead you start thinking, this is what it looks like for me to get out to 100K. Let's see what else we got. We had, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of me getting to 100K, or this is just the beginning of me getting to 1 million. This is just the beginning of me becoming a coach for multi 6-figure earners, right? Or like this, I wrote down, this is what it looks like to become a 100K coach. How do I want to write the story of how I did it? So powerful. Oh my God, such a powerful question. Like, you right now, wherever you are at, you probably are thinking, I'm not where I need to be. I don't think that I am far enough ahead, right? And I want you to slow down for a second and then write down, like, how do I want, like, really reflect on this. How do I want to write the story of how I got to the result I think is gonna be the most amazing thing? Because it's okay that you feel like you want to get to a higher place or whatever you want to say. Totally fine. Like, we all do. Yay, let's go. But it's all about, like, it's never gonna work if we're guilt tripping ourselves on the way there. If we're punishing ourselves for not being where we think we need to be. It's never going to work that way. You're going to hate the process. You're going to hate your business. You're going to hate your clients. You're never going to be happy. You're going to resist all of it. And you're always going to find all the reasons why you're not good enough. Zero upside to doing that, right? So what do you want to think about your current circumstance? Like, what do you want to think about where you're at right now? I never choose to think like I used to do this, but I never do this anymore. I'm never like, oh my God, I'm not where I want to be. This means that I take longer, so it's going to take me longer to get there. Like, it's never going to happen. Or like, oh, like what's wrong with me that I haven't done it yet? Like, oh my God, I just don't do that anymore. I used to do it so much. And of course I wasn't getting the results I wanted. Now I'm like, this is what it looks like to get to 5 million. This is what it looks like for me to have the business that I love. This is what it looks like for me to be wherever it is that I want to be. Like, what is the story that I want to write of how I got there? I'm writing it today. So I really want to offer that to you so that you notice all of the funky thoughts and all of the funky beliefs you have about your ability to really make a bold offer, a bold promise. And once you clear all of that up, and when you decide to think intentionally about your situation in a way that serves you, I really believe that it's going to be much easier for you to create a super bold offer promise that you can get behind. And that's clear, that's compelling, that's going to attract people, that's going to create high demand. If you blend the exercise, the elements that I gave you today, and do the mindset work, you're going to be much closer, at least, to have a really amazing offer promise. So I'm going to go and look at the comments. Leanne says, you look gorgeous. Thank you. Yes, I have clients that are 7-figure earners and I'm totally not. Yeah, like, why? Like, I think you do something about speaking on stage or PR. I'm not exactly sure, but so many 7-figure entrepreneurs have gotten there without any PR or speaking on stage. Like, of course, they need support there, right? And so, like, if you come from not you, Leanne, but like people who are watching, if you come from the energy of like, oh, I don't know if I can, who am I? I'm smaller. It's like you're going to show up smaller. You're going to feel not confident. And this is not what attracts high-level clients. What attracts high-level clients is confident people who are in full integrity, who are certain, who are confident in their ability to help others, who are not apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry. Like apologizing for who they are and just like, I'm sorry if I'm too much. Like, no, you're confident, you're grounded, you make people feel safe in your arms. Like, I can totally help you here because you're confident within yourself, and the confidence comes from you thinking, I got what it takes. I totally got what it takes. I can always figure it out. This is what it looks like for me to get there. You know what I mean? Okay. April says, 3-month confident mom program, specifically designed for busy moms who are ready to go from feeling overwhelmed to being fully confident as they are doing what matters with most ease. Or I help busy moms create a home that takes care of itself, through my 3-month personal coaching program. Which one sounds more delicious? I love create a home that takes care of itself, but I'm not really fully loving through my 3-month coaching program. Like, I think that it's like I help moms create, it's a 3-month experience that I help for moms who feel overwhelmed and want to create a home that takes care of itself so that they can do what lights them up or what really matters. Oh, that was really good. So I kind of just blend them both of them together. Okay, so any other questions that you ladies and gentlemen have? If you don't have any questions, I want to tell you that if you want support around this, if you're like, oh my God, I need help with my message, I need help with my offer, I need help with my mindset, I need help with booking out my practice and getting clients consistently and just really getting all of that sorted, I want you to apply for the next round of my mastermind. We don't start until September, but there are already like 4 spots left. And I know so many of you were in this group, you wanted to join. I want you to send me a message and we can have a conversation to see if you want to join the next round, if you want to save your spot, because literally the spots are filling out fast. Like, people are already buying into the next round, and we literally just started this one 2 weeks ago. So if you're curious about getting support on this, send me a message. We can talk about it. If you don't know anything about the program, just send me a message. We can chat about it. It's going to help you clarify your message, clarify your offer, make sure you have a super delicious offer promise, a really unique methodology, and I'm going to help you sell it out. So I teach you my magnetic launch formula that literally has helped all of my clients, 100% of my clients, sell out their programs. I'm not like, this is not a hyperbole promise. All of my clients have sold out all of their programs, their group programs. So send me a message. And if you're curious about working with me one-on-one, I'm fully booked right now, but I have 2 spots opening in July. And so send me a message if you want to know more, and then we can chat about it. April says, that was really good. I will blend. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, my loves. This is what I had for you today. I want you to save this video and watch it again, because I dropped lots of things that might compute at some point, but truly this is the stuff, like, some of the elements that I'm teaching my clients inside of my mastermind. April is actually one of my clients, and I want to bring this to you because I know how helpful it can be, especially right now when we're so afraid to speak up. We're so afraid to make offers. We're so afraid to show up online. And we're like, am I good enough? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Like, I really want you to come back to who you are. Remember who you are, what your values are. And remember that integrity when it comes to promising, it has to come from your truth. Like, if you are a person who lies, you're going to be lying in your offer promise. But if you know with integrity with yourself that, like, I mean, if you know that you are in integrity within yourself, there's no way you can, I mean, there's no way not, but like, it's going to be hard for you to not be in integrity. Because all my clients who are like integrity, like, oh my God, I just don't want to overpromise, they're like taking it too far. I'm like, we need to be more bold. We need to be more clear. We need to be more desirable. So just stretch yourself to really look at how can I make this more compelling using the 4 steps that I gave you. And just know that if your intention is to be in integrity, you're probably going to be within integrity. Probably, most likely. All right. April says, I'm here for all the coaching goodness I can get, paid and free. It's also amazing. You are getting like so much value from all of the way. So I'm so happy for you, April. Alrighty, my loves. I love seeing you here. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you guys on the next training next week. Mwah. Love you all. Bye.